and welcome to the last Vlogmas. I'm here in the bedroom looking a little bit more glamorous than usually. It's just because I was trying to take a nice picture with Christmas tree with Liam. That was tough. We've got something, but I'm not sure it's amazing, but let's see how it's gonna turn out. So I'm wearing this long tulle skirt and this silk blouse with some sparkly earrings. But I thought I'm gonna put the effort in, and on a day which is a main day for, I'd say, a lot of European countries, I'd say most European countries, which is the Christmas Eve, the 24th, I'm gonna do an effort and maybe film a little bit about how we celebrate Christmas in Czech, what are the traditions, and I'm not an expert, I'm not saying an expert, I'm just gonna say it from my point of view, what we do at home, and maybe what I know in my head, what other people may do. So let's start the day. I'm gonna probably change it to something more comfortable. I'm a comfy kind of girl on days like this, especially when I know I'm going to be cooking today and tomorrow and just lounge on the sofa. So yeah, definitely not want to do in the tulle skirt. I wish, in my head, I am that glamorous girl, but not in reality. And then get on with the day. So I have just uploaded this picture on Instagram with Liam in front of our Christmas tree in our new house. So guys, if you don't follow me yet on Instagram, I would actually love if you do so and maybe leave a comment. Because if everything goes well, this video is going to be up live tomorrow. So there's still time. We would love that. It was a bit challenging, but we made this one, which I think is actually quite nice. So Liam is chatting. Hopefully he will let me just to do some sort of chatting about Czech Christmas. So I don't really know where to start. So 24th is the main day, and I'm gonna really talk. I had a bit of lipstick here. I'm gonna talk about sort of my family and sort of the way we celebrate it. So I think the way we know Christmas and the way it's celebrated in my family is always from a Catholic perspective, basically celebrating the birth of Jesus. And although I'm not like, you know, some sort of religious fanatic, I will go to mass. We do like a mass which is like a midnight mass, pretty much as you would do as Catholic anywhere in the world. But there's a lot of traditions that people, I think, in Czech, and again, I don't know much about history, but I kind of Google a little bit. People in Czech think that is connected to religion, but I think it's more local tradition. So how my family would celebrate Christmas on this day. So this is our main day. It's called Štědrý večer, obviously Christmas Eve. And I think most families, and my family, we would just chill in the very close family all day long, you know, in comfortable clothes, eat and drink, and then basically end up with Christmas dinner. And we say, at least in my family, when the first star appears, that's the time to actually serve the dinner. And after that, baby Jesus, we say Ježíšek, just in translation, baby Jesus, brings the presents to all the children on that night. So basically we are unwrapping presents on the 24th after the dinner. So there's a lot of, pretty much like in UK, a lot of kind of movies we would watch, and very kind of old, which are on TV every year, but that's the beauty of it, that's the part of it, that, you know, that's the tradition that basically is at home. Maybe we would do some carol singing, which would be again traditional Czech, so we've got a lot of Christmas music ourselves. And then we have a lot of these traditions, which maybe I can talk you throughout the day, but some families do none, some families do few, some families just do somewhere in between. It really depends, family by family. So for example, the way I grew up is we wouldn't have a dinner, let's say, you know, all the cousins and everybody together. We would have a dinner in our own house, let's say my sister, my parents, and then we would open the presents. But then we would definitely visit like both of our grandmothers, where we would also have the presents from baby Jesus in their house. The family would gather, you know, in the grandmother's house, maybe even the cousins, we would just chat. So that would be kind of in the evening on the 24th. And then the 25th, we kind of still celebrate, but, you know, just chill and watch TV. But it's not like we have any kind of special meal. A lot of people would have like goose or duck on that day, at least in my family or people I know. But the 24th is the main day, so I just love it. I mean, as kids, I've got so many beautiful memories, especially when it was white Christmas. Like, we would go out, build a snowman, couldn't wait, absolutely thrilled to wait for that dinner, and my dad would always prolong it, and he would have another piece of fish, and just he would tease us, and then obviously my parents would ring the bell. We think, you know, that's baby Jesus ringing the bell, the presents are here. I honestly don't know until now how they did it, because it felt like they both said that and all of a sudden the bell rang and the presents were just there. Was when we were eating, they were not there. I still don't know how they did it, but whatever they did it really well. I need to sometimes ask them, but maybe, you know, as a child you're not as, I don't know, the perception maybe is slightly different and you really think, you know, there is baby Jesus giving the presents. But I don't want to go into depth and maybe talk you through bits by bits during the day. I'm gonna go downstairs, but I need to say one more thing. So a lot of people would fast on this day until the Christmas dinner, because we say you may see gold pig. You never see that. I've tried it before. I'm just gonna probably go and eat, but it'd be quite nice to fast until the evening when you feel really hungry and, you know, you can have more food and stuff. So yeah, and I think a local tradition is basically not to eat meat on this day. A lot of people do. A lot of people would have schnitzel instead of the traditional fish. I maybe talk about the food a little bit later into detail. But a lot of people, some people have fried cheese. Really depends on the family. But a tradition would be a fish, some type of fish. I'm going to talk about it later. I'm not going to jump into details. And a lot of people would fast, and if they don't fast, like when I'm saying fasting, not eating all day until the first star comes out, a lot of people basically would just not eat meat. And let's say our priest in Czech, he would say, you know, it comes from the religion, but talking about priests in other countries, they said never heard, you know, there would be any rule coming from Vatican or kind of the religious authorities that, you know, you don't eat meat, otherwise they would do it in any other country. So I personally think, based on speaking to other priests in other countries, even here I had a long chat with our priest about it. He said never heard of it, never heard, other priests said never heard of it either. So I think it's probably a very local tradition to Czech Republic, or maybe where I'm from. So that's the latest update. I'm now gonna go downstairs and seriously thinking what I'm gonna eat. I'll try to stick to the thing that it's not gonna be meat, although we eat fish. So maybe some sort of cheese. Let's see. But I need to get something in my tummy. So here's my breakfast. I'm just having brioche with some tea. And basically in Czech we've got this sort of cake. It's quite similar to brioche, I'd say. Well, that's what I could compare it to. It's called Vánočka. And I guess a lot of people would have it for breakfast or maybe after dinner as a dessert. My sister, I know, is having it for breakfast today. So I thought I'm gonna include it. I think she baked her own one, but a lot of people just would buy it in the shops. It's actually really lovely. And it feels kind of very traditional as well. So I just asked Tyke and his sister to take Liam out so I can wrap presents. This is just presents for Tyke, myself and his sister. But I need to get Liam's as well. And in the background I'm gonna watch one of the Czech traditional Christmas movies, which is Popelka. It's like a Cinderella version. Just because I know they will not watch it with me, I guess. So it's on. I wish I could do it on the TV downstairs, but I don't want to, just in case they come early, just to have all the presents there for Liam. So Liam's presents for tonight are wrapped. Now I need to get on to the other half for tomorrow. Wow, I just finished the wrapping. I wish I did it earlier, but I'm gonna say it again, but with the house move and everything, and Liam basically constantly requiring me being with him, it just wasn't possible, so left it really last minute today. So I did both for today and for tomorrow. I'm not the best at wrapping, and considering I was rushing, as I was worried that they're gonna come back and I'm not gonna be finished. It's not the best job, but it will do. I guess my husband and his sister, they don't really care, and Liam probably doesn't care either. But I always admire like other people's wrapping. So I'm still watching the Czech movie I mentioned, and I would like to kind of catch a breath and just chill for a while before I start to prepare anything for the Christmas dinner. So I want to set the table. Again, I was just thinking, it was only like maybe 2-3 days ago that I wanted to maybe create a different kind of setup for the table for today and tomorrow. I was thinking today more rustic, but I think I mentioned in another vlog that my mum threw out quite a few bits from my kitchen when we were moving, and I had really kind of rustic looking country style napkins from Neptune, which are not the cheapest, and I thought that would look really great with maybe a bit of green or just a little branch from a tree or something, and just wrapped with a very simple, I don't know, just very simple, but obviously that's probably not gonna happen, and I'm not in the mood to try to search for it just in case maybe I'm wrong or it's still somewhere, who knows. So I'm just gonna keep it probably the same style as for tomorrow, so there's a lot of gold and silver, so just really in this way, and maybe a bit of greenery on the table, 2 candles, just very simple, but that also means I need to also iron the napkins and iron the tablecloth as well, which I've ordered in the Black Friday sales. They actually had matching napkins, but I put the order through, and a few days later I got an email actually that due to high demand they can't send me them, that they were sold out. So anyway, I wanted to tell you a little bit more about the Christmas dinner. So a typical Czech Christmas dinner, I would say, is a fish and potato salad, which is slightly different to the potato salad you would have in UK. Now I would like to say every family may have a different variety of potato salad. So some people put peas in it with carrots, my family doesn't. We put like eggs, onions, gherkins, mayo, the potatoes, and then maybe we flavor it with a little bit of mustard, salt, pepper. Can't think of, yeah, these are the kind of the basics we put in. Some people have got potato salad with mayo, some people without. But the main kind of the most traditional fish, which would be fried and coated in breadcrumbs, eggs and flour, would be carp. Now, I personally, I don't like carp. For me, carp has to be from a very, very clean pond in order for me to actually eat it, but I'm still not a huge fan. I find carp to be quite fattening, and there's like this strange aftertaste, and it's just like a fat fish. I don't know how else to describe it. Just not a huge fan. My family would still make carp, but I would still always ask for something like cod, which is actually what I'm going to be making today. Just a simple cod. I've got the Czech breadcrumbs, which my mum brought for me, because it does taste a little bit different and it looks different as well, so I wanted to keep that for Christmas. And then we have that. Nobody in this family, I mean my husband's family, eats potato salad. So I actually made cheat, and I just bought one in the shop, because I'm like, do I actually want to cook potato salad just for one person? And I will make them roast potatoes. So that's already, you know, a big change for us. So it's a little bit further from the traditional Czech dinner. And then in Czech we would have a lot of kind of Czech sweets afterwards. Different people again do different things. I didn't bake this year again. Firstly, nobody really eats it here, so I would end up eating myself, and maybe Liam would have a little bit. But there's tons of recipes. Like some women in their households would do so many varieties of the kind of Christmas Czech cookies, and some of them have got amazing baking skills, including my sister. And then we also do something called open sandwiches, which I don't do here because again I don't have the right ingredients. You need a special type of bread. So yeah, again, I'm not doing it here, but I would probably have that if I was at home. So open sandwiches in Czech, chlebíčky. My husband hates them, doesn't really like it. So I'm a bit unfortunate in this way that, you know, he's not really into the lot of the Czech stuff and a lot of the Czech things we do over Christmas. So that's a little bit more about the dinner, and let's have a look maybe whilst everybody's still out at the tablecloth, and maybe I can iron whatever has to be ironed and see how I can maybe style it later. So So this tablecloth, or it's more a runner, is kind of like a Nordic star. It's one of those Scandinavian designs, which I got on Black Friday. I'm going to use simple white napkins. It's such a pity because this is not a pure white, and those napkins would be amazing. And I'm thinking to do something very simple, like with a string and a bit of green when actually arranging them. So let me try and show you what I have in mind. I use this plain string, or maybe to spice things up, maybe one of these kind of more fancy, which could nicely blend in with the Nordic star print. I haven't made a decision. I'm going to use these candle holders just because the table is really small. Obviously, I like very opulent things. I would love to have like a huge table and a lot of greenery, but I need to work with what I have. I'm going to use these simple candles. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they will fit. These candle holders, I believe, that's Irish crystal. Perfect, it fits in. So that's gonna be really nice. As much as I would love to have a huge bouquet or something, Christmassy one on the table, I'm just gonna use one of these small ones. That's Irish crystal as well, and put like a bit of green or something in there, just to...
I'm walking around feeling free, thinking about what's happened to me from July up till now. Don't know where, don't know how. Lately I've come to realize that I can see it in your eyes, so it's true. I'm so glad you feel it too. Nothing to hide but falling in love. To me it's perfectly clear.
Wow. So I just set up the table. I think I'm gonna do last finish touches. I know it's not anything special, like in my mind I had something much more grand, but as I said, our table is very small, as you can see. I'm like, where am I actually gonna fit the fish and the potato salad or any of the sweets there on the table as well? So I guess, oh my god, this is my life, guys. He just has to go everywhere I go, so you probably guess they're back. And yeah, I can't do much with him. Not anymore these days. So I almost forgot what I wanted to say. Oh yes, I'm gonna chill, just do a few Insta stories now, and then start to, I don't know, later on prepare the dinner. Well, there's nothing really to prepare. Maybe just potatoes, peel the potatoes for the roast potatoes for the rest. And then I can actually chill for a change, which is great. So let's do that. And I'm thinking if there's anything else I could mention about the Czech traditions. And oh yeah, I can actually mention it now, just in case I get tired or I don't want to kind of just film as well as we're eating, which I probably won't. But this is more kind of like a talk through the Czech traditions. I need to top up my lipstick as well. I'll leave it like that. I'm sure you don't mind. So, some of the traditions, let's say we would do in the family. So we would put, let's say, a coin under the plates when we eat. It's meant to basically bring you a good fortune in the next year. What else do people do? A lot of people, I would say, with kids would do things like putting little candles in a, like the walnut, what is it, crust? What's the word in English? You know, like when you have the walnut, so the little shell, so you can put like little candles in it, let it flow on the water. What we do in my family, and I actually read something in an article this morning which should not be like that, but in my family we always set up an extra table. Extra plate, because we say that's an old tradition, just in case a passersby would be passing your house and you can invite them. I guess that's coming to very, very old time ago, when people actually were just walking from place to place, and you know, you would welcome strangers into your house and offer them summer meal. So that's what we do as well. But I read an interesting article today about traditions that what was it? Yeah, there were a couple of things which I totally forgot now, so I guess I probably can't tell you that. We also try not to leave the table during the dinner, because that can bring something bad to your family, like people passing away. But these are just the old beliefs. I don't genuinely believe in it, but it's kind of nice just to mention it in the video so you get an idea. Oh my god, this is my life now. So yeah, I think I'm gonna also make sure we've got wine in the fridge, white wine. I'm probably gonna stick to red. We can have some mulled wine later, maybe watch a movie. Oh yeah, there was one more thing I wanted to say to you. If you want to watch something Czech, apart from these like old school, like the Cinderella I mentioned earlier, I love a movie in Czech which is called Pelíšky, but in English it's called Cozy Dance, and it's actually available on Amazon Prime. So if you have Amazon Prime, it's from the era when there was still proper communism in Czech Republic, but there's a lot of things like, you know, you will see the carp, how people just keep it in the bath. They actually have a live carp, which then they kill at home and obviously then cook for dinner. And there's a lot of these bits. It's very, very Czech, very kind of Czech communism, but it's a good sense of humor. You will probably then understand the Czech sense of humor if you watch that movie, if you kind of are into foreign movies. So it's called Cozy Dance, and you can get it on Amazon Prime. Reminds me, I haven't opened my advent calendar. I think I'm going to open both today. So let's take this one. So I still have got two. I think I wasn't doing it properly. Oh, it's going to be some sort of pencil. What is it? Oh, iconic eye pencil. Oh, Liam has to go right here and knock into my camera. And I'm gonna open the other one on Insta. So I'm in the process. We're just watching Cozy Dance, which I actually mentioned earlier. We also watched Love Actually together. And now I'm preparing some boiled potatoes just for everybody else, because I'm gonna then roast them. And then I'll start to prepare the fish. And I think I'll just eat the potato salad I have already, I guess. And we're just gonna eat. And then baby Jesus will come and bring the present. But to make sure I won't forget, I'm going to put some coins. Let's see what we have here under the plates. Oh yes, these are just the pennies. Where's the big bucks? We're finished. Baby Jesus brought the presents. I know it's probably not going to be the best video. I really try to film as much as I can, but I also wanted to enjoy this day and, you know, just take it easy with all the cooking, and pretty much I did everything, to be fair. So hope you like this. Just thought it could be a nice idea for people that have no idea how we celebrate Christmas, just to tell you a little bit more. And if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next video. Merry Christmas!
This newborn prize, and it was on a Christmas.